just need something to work off. I'm sorry. It's hard for me to just talk and like.
Did you say you needed coffee?
Huh?
Did you say you needed coffee?
No, I don't need a coffee.
I was gonna say I could make you some
No,
coffee.
it's not that. I think I just feel awkward talking. I am currently enrolled in Cabrillo College, working towards an English transfer degree. And to what that means to me, I have no idea yet. Well, I have an idea. It's either I thought originally it was to write screenplays. Took a couple of those. Don't want to do that anymore. Hopefully I can reignite that love. I've written some and it's been fun, but God, when you're an English major and there's other English majors around and they're all giving you criticism, you just want to blow your brains out, you know? Second, it's just from a like study of film from like an academic side and study, you know, the craft of it while also the cultural context, because I hate people that say it's either. I feel like there's people that will argue that it's all craft, and you know you have to just judge movie by that. But then it's like if there's no like social aspect of the film, it's like why are we watching the film at all? And I just can't stand people who think it's all about craft. I think craft's important. Craft is a way that you know that you can trust the film and judge it, and when you feel like you're studying what it really means. And if the craft is good, then you feel like you can watch it and go, then it has to have something to say, which, you know, you can be tricked by too. But that's sort of where the starting point is. I think that's why some people are turned off by bad movies, even if they have an interesting message. Hi Freeze, I'm Batman. Wait, no, that's not Black Panther. Hi Freeze, I'm Black Panther. I have a really hard time reading. You know, I'm very slow at it. I have to read things all the time. Or I have to go back and reread certain passages to just sort of get the exposition out of the way. I think that's where I'm at with books, honestly, is when I watch a film, I can usually go like, okay, I can analyze intent, I can analyze choices being made in the film and how it affects the viewer's experience. But in terms of when I read books, I'm sort of at a level where I just read it and try to absorb everything that I can, and then I reflect on it later. And that's the best place to start. Just say action or something.
Action.
To get me going. This is the most embarrassing thing in my room, and this what people tell me is the most embarrassing thing in my room. I don't know why, but that's what they say. So this is the collection, the most important thing in my life. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't say that because I know it's kind of true, and it's really sad. But I think around in high school I was getting a little crazy, and that's why I got so big. I've cut down now. I don't have to buy every single thing I saw in the theater. Especially this year, since I'm probably going to cut down on what I'm seeing in the theater. After Black Panther, I decided no more Marvel. After Infinity War, of course. So I like to do alphabetical because I like to just sort of mix everything. Like I guess genre makes sense for some people, but I prefer to do alphabetical because it's like then everything's mixed in and I can just like go to it and I'm not gonna know. I mean, I'm gonna know what's there, of course, but like I like to just sort of look at it and not have like constraints of like, okay, I want to see a comedy, so I'm gonna go to a comedy. So sometimes I can just walk up to it and be like, okay, I'll watch The Founder, which doesn't happen very often, but sometimes it does. Every year I say, no more Marvel, no more big budget action films in the theater, like, because I'm just so bored with all of them. I mean, unless it's Transformers and it's just fascinatingly bad, it just doesn't even feel like they're worth seeing anymore. So this year I've like got 4 films written down, and one of them is Infinity War, that I will want to see those in the theater, but like Han Solo, Ant-Man 2, I haven't even seen Ant-Man 1. I just don't want to do it anymore. So, interesting that you're catching me to do this documentary at this time, because I think this is the time where I'm like giving up on movie theaters. There's some things I want to see, but I just can't be conditioned to go see these big budget movies anymore. I just have to stop. There's a certain point when you're a junkie and you just have to be like, no more.
What is your favorite film franchise and why is it Transformers?
It's funny that you should ask that, just because I'm working on my review for the first film right now, the first Bay film, and I spend a lot of time watching, thinking about those movies, and you could wonder that you could ask or think that I'm wasting my time, and I am. But there's something fascinating to me just about the whole phenomenon itself, and like these films that nobody seems to really like, and yet we keep making them, and I want to talk about this just because it's totally inappropriate. But for anyone who's a Room fan out there, I have a family member who is sort of going through something similar to what happens in The Room, which is about a guy who thought a girl loved him, and then it turned out he was manipulating him and betrays him. What's interesting is I have a family member who's going through something sort of like that. It's just The Room is so incompetent and inept that you can't take it seriously, and it's just funny. And the way it's executed is actually incredibly sexist regardless. So for any fans of The Room out there, there is truth in what So has to say. It just executed in such a terrible way that we all enjoy laughing at it. And that's sort of the interesting thing about why I'm obsessed with Michael Bay, too. And this, primarily the Transformers films, is that they have their own technical merits, but it's at the same time, there's a lot of just like sloppiness to them. And there's also, he's obsessed with like his own political views and while not making them too overt, and it really is something that you can just study and watch and go, why does he make these movies? Why has he made these 5 films when he doesn't seem very interested in Transformers, but he's interested in all these other aspects of the films that he inserts into them. It's just it's a strange phenomenon, and that's how I like to. What's weird is I feel like I watch films, sometimes I study the filmmaker, not by looking at their work and wondering like why do they make the choices that they make? Why do they do what they do? Why would they make a film at all to try and explain this stuff? And I think that's why I'm so attracted to the medium in the first place. It's just fun to be able to have a discussion, just you and the film, like not even discussing the film with someone else, but it feels like when you're watching a film, you could be having a discussion with it. Like, why do you think this? Why do it this way? And I think that stuff's interesting. So that's all. That all came from just what do you tell us about yourself, and that's sort of my life is.
Were you ever bullied because of your passion for movies?
Was I ever bullied because of my passion for movies? I feel like my parents made a bigger deal out of it than like they should have, or that I needed to. Like my parents thought I was not getting like horribly bullied. Like I never got physically bullied. Me and my brother would, fight here and there, but that's just us. But, at school, no, I can't. It's people teased me. I was the weird kid. That's the thing. But it was like a cartoon. my elementary school life felt like a cartoon because I was like the weird kid that like was the punchline weird kid. But I never hated it for that. I got there were kids that like gave me problems, but never about my movie or like geekiness with like Star Wars or something like that. It was more just like, oh, Greg's this like weird kid that likes Star Wars and likes did not like Transformers yet. That's the thing. I thought Shia LaBeouf was the girl. When I was a kid, I was very confused about who was who in Transformers. But I sort of like accepted it, like I was the comic relief character in my school. See, I just perceived the world like this. I'm nuts. So it wasn't really bullying. It was more just like, haha, Greg, you watch those like weird Japanese cartoons, right? I'm like, yeah, I do. And then they'd ask me a question, and then they're like, ha ha ha, yeah. And then I don't know, it was just that. It wasn't like nobody waited for me outside of the. No one like waited for me outside of the cafeteria, waiting to beat me up or take my lunch money and say, "You like Star Wars, therefore we beat you up." It's like I don't know. We probably live in, a much safer place than a lot of other places. I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that, but I'm just going to say it. That's my thought. I mean, not really teasing, but not bullying. If there's one thing I want people to take away from what I have to say about the subject matter of being into film and art and things like that is don't worry about don't feel shame for any type of film or art that interests you. Even if, like, it's me with Transformers, where it's not even that you exactly like it. If you're just fascinated by it, just go for it. Just study it, become acquainted with it, do whatever you want with it, go through whatever emotions you have to go through with it, because that's what matters, and that's what's interesting and engaging about art, is you don't have to like it to find it interesting.